From Wall Street to Main Street, this is Lalate.
It's a big evening here on Evenings LA with incredible details about your fourth stimulus check of 2021. We're breaking news from the Fed Chair Jay Powell testifying on Capitol Hill minutes ago of all the incredible details and how much those Democrats want you to have in this monthly fourth stimulus check of 2021. Then we cut to the big money across the board as fifth stimulus heats up this fall with another stimulus check and the raising up of your benefits a lifetime. And because of Powell's comments, we have a bigger indicator of how much your benefits will be lifted up. Wonderful news in this broadcast. Then we cut to the thousands of dollars the viewers continue to get, and it's your day to get it as well. It's a big day. It's a Taco Tuesday. It's a big night, and it's a big, exciting, developing details about your fourth stimulus you're going to hear for the first time in this evening's broadcast, starting right here, starting right now on Evenings Lalate. Happy Tuesday evening. I hope you're having a beautiful evening across the board. The weather was beautiful here in Santa Monica today, this Tuesday afternoon and evening. But I hope the weather was great where you are. Jump in the live chat right now and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. I know a lot of you were desecrated by really bad heat waves over the weekend, but I hope it's settled down. Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. In this fourth stimulus check update of 2021 this evening, we have a lot of breaking news you're going to hear for the first time on Evenings LA as Jay Powell speaks out all incredible details. He says that the economy needs supporting and needs more stimulus, and that the Fed will be providing that stimulus all the way to December. That is amid the voting process already beginning for the fourth stimulus. The Democrats are setting the vote ready to go on the monthly stimulus checks. We'll be going over all the details and what they're representing, they're going to be doing. And then we turn to fifth stimulus, which heats up this fall, and that fifth stimulus is incredible. It has another stimulus check, and it raises your benefits up a lifetime. We'll be going over all the calculations and what you need to know this evening with a lot of breaking news on that as well. And then we can turn to the big thousands of dollars the viewers continue to get. Today's your day to get that money. Get it and go get some tacos with it. Don't spend all your money on tacos. It's a big evening. And this is Evenings Lalate. Thank you for joining me. If you're new to Lalate, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the only financial channel of its kind in the United States. Live in the morning, taped in the evenings, right after this show. It'll send you automatically into Overnight's Crypto. Stay with this video. 7 seconds after the video ends, you will see the start of Overnight's Crypto live on air. Last night's show was the most watched ever of this channel. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. Hit that subscribe button right now. I want you part of this family. Next up, 1 million. Thank you for making yesterday our most subscribed day in several weeks. Also like this video. It delivers some beautiful apricot hair scrub. Did I say hair scrub? What is that? Consider becoming a member. Let's get right into that. For stimulus, those monthly stimulus checks. Monthly from both the House, monthly from the Senate, but there's a difference when you consider the number of checks and also the payouts. When we're considering the payouts, a lot of things, but also when we consider the number of checks, that's the big surprise. So let's go over the House bill, monthly, pandemic plus 1 year. Pandemic plus 1 year, monthly. Senate proposal, July to December. House payout, monthly, 1,000 after the first month, 2,000. Senate amount unknown. But word on the street is the Senate amount is this. Wow. Where I see is the Senate Democrats want to pay you this, $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000, or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400. That is delicious. So savory. Let's go back to something you need to know, though, is this. Pandemic plus 1 year, well, the legislators may contend there's only 1 year left because the pandemic is over. That would reduce you to 12 months of checks on the House proposal, which over 12 months is 12 checks. Let's go over the calculation of that. That would be $13,000 from the House, Compare that to the Senate over 6 months. Is this? Wow. Okay, I think you have an opinion. Jump in the live chat right now and vote House or Senate. Tell me which one you're tuning in for, where you're tuning in from, and how's the weather, and which one you like. House or Senate, I want you to see you voting right now. There you go. Incredible details. Who wants a forced stimulus check? Who gets a forced stimulus check? Let's go over the details starting right now. The Democrats would give single individuals a forced stimulus check if they make less than $75,000. Married couple, $150,000 or less, Democrats would give them a forced stimulus check, double it. Family of four, Democrats would give them a forced stimulus check, quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, Democrats would give you a forced stimulus check. The forced stimulus check would be given to people who got third stimulus checks. The forced stimulus check is not income. It is not taxable. The forced stimulus check would come monthly. It would not come in waves. That means that fourth stimulus check is not a waivable check. So if you're at the hair salon and you're getting your hair done, you say, "Hey, check, I like that hairstyle. Is that Nancy style?" Check didn't respond. And I know you got the blow dryer in your hair, but rude check. And I don't like that hairstyle on you either. It's not a waivable check. It may have a bad hairstyle, but also it's not a waivable check. It can't wave back. So there you go. And that is your forced stimulus check update of 2021, the first of 3 parts. The Democrats would be giving you the forced stimulus check in the month of July for the month of July, even if you have a bad hairstyle, in the month of August for the month of August. And they would be calling the vote by July 4th. There you go. In the second part of this video, we'll be going over the breaking news as Jay Powell talks about the whole situation. Bernie talks about it as well. I have some great answers to some of your questions I saw since noontime. And then the third part of this video, we'll be going over the big voting process that is heating up. Very exciting. But let's get a preview of the second half of this video. It's fifth stimulus. And fifth stimulus has a fifth stimulus check in there. And also raises your benefits up a lifetime. But could it raise up 10%? I have all the incredible details in view of Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve's comments today. Exciting. But let's get some money. If you're new to this channel, that's what I do. This is not a tracking a check channel. You should not be tracking what day you're going to be getting a forced stimulus check. You should be getting these thousands of dollars, and you have been doing it. You've been killing it. So let's go over the great details. There's a lot of money available for you. It starts with rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and also homeowners' utilities. So get a pen and paper ready. And if it must be a Crayola crown, at least match my blue shirt. And do not say it's KC blue, Royals blue, because you don't ask me if the red shirt is Cardinals STL red. I see what you're doing. So get a pen and paper ready. I'm going to go over all the details for you. The rent is a lot of money. It's about $5,000 of money for the 6 months of rent. And where you get it, I'm going to go over all the details. Each place has different eligibility. So if one says no, reach out to the next. They also have their own pot of money. All right, you ready? You're going to reach out to your city hall, your city housing authority, your county hall, your county housing authority, your state hall, your state housing authority. The key words you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Rent assistance because of COVID. You don't say words that they don't know, like stimulus or Nancy's appearance on the TV musical Fame. What? She was she did that thing. You didn't catch that? Okay, never. I don't want to confuse you. You don't say things they don't know, or things I've never heard of either. So don't say words they don't know, otherwise they'll turn off the phone. And there you go. Tim and Lena got this big money for rent, and I want you to get as well. Well, the next pot of money, viewers have been killing it. They've been getting $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 from this channel in the last 2 weeks. It's your chance to get it now. Gail got it, got some. Lynn Glenn got some for herself, for her son, and her mom. And what is this? It's money for SNAP. SNAP is money for food. You get it from Department of Agriculture, DOA. So reach out to them. It pays a fortune. It pays a fortune. It pays now upwards of $16,000 a year for a family of 4 in Hawaii. Wow. Why so much money? Because of 2 wonderful executive orders, one from Biden, one from Trump, that raised everyone's benefits up 15% between now and December. So go get it. $16,000 for SNAP, $5,000 for rent, a bad hairstyle. But otherwise than that, we're killing it. You're killing it. We're always 10 minutes of this video. But I got more money for you right now. And it's $5,000 as one viewer got it. What is this? It's coming back from your states. The states are paying back to you the money that they overpaid you due to computer errors during the unemployment payouts of the last year. The federal government has ordered them to return the money back to you. It was not your computer. Your computer works fine, thank you. It's their darn computer. So the federal government has ordered them to return the money back to you. And one viewer got $5,000 from this. How are you going to get it? To the account you have on file with them. When are you going to get the money? Reach out to your state and say, hi, when am I going to get that money back for your computer error? And when you track it for me, can you please use a different computer? There you go. The final pot of money is wonderful, and it's coming back from the federal government. It is the taxes you paid on unemployment assistance. Last night's Evenings LA, someone asked, has anyone gotten it? So if you've gotten this, jump in the live chat because it inspires other people. Cod got it, Margaret got it, Michael got it, and we've had about a dozen people get it on this channel. But if you got to jump on the live chat, it is the refund back of the taxes you paid on the 2020 unemployment. Let's go over the details. First, how much, when, where, and how to track it? Yes. So let's say you had $9,000 of unemployment benefits. You paid $5,000 of total taxes, of which your total tax bill was $4,000 on the taxes on the unemployment benefits. You're getting back $4,000. Where? Direct deposit, if that's what was set up on the 2020 return. Otherwise, in the mail. When? The month of June. Can you track it? Yeah, you can about 70% of the time. Go to iris.gov, set up a username and password, put your social security number in there, and then do a transcript search. You'll be shocked how much surprising details it'll reveal in that transcript search you never knew. It will reveal the tax return you filed, the taxes you paid. It will reveal my recipe for fettuccine Alfredo, and it will reveal where Nancy gets that hair color from. And then... I can't believe I said that. And then it also reveal when you're getting back your refund check. And there you go. If you got a penny or 2 pennies or 100,000 pennies from this channel, jump in the live chat what you've gotten, because it inspires me, inspires other viewers. Whether it's $5,000 or $6,000, I want you to get this money. This is third stimulus, and money is critical. Please get the money you are entitled to, and inspires other people to get as well. And there you go. And that is the big exciting details. But now, what's more wonderful than that? The second of your 3 updates of fourth stimulus of 2021 starting right now. I had a really interesting question I got from someone on Facebook after noontime. It was a great question. The viewer asked, if there's a House bill, then why do we care about the Senate proposal? Interesting. Very great question. So the bill we're doing now is the reconciliation process to create 2 recon bills, or 1 recon bill of 2 parts, the procedural bill and the substantive bill. That bill doesn't exist in bill format yet. The bill we talk about for the monthly stimulus checks from Jalopal, the House bill, is a bill that would be put into the recon bill. And the Senate proposal is a Senate proposal that could be put into the recon bill. So that was a great question. The viewer was getting confused with as though they're voting on Jalopal's bill exactly. No, recon involves a lot of other things, because there's a lot of other things that are in the fourth stimulus besides just stimulus checks. So great question. All right. We also had some wonderful details today. Minutes ago, Jay Powell finished his testifying before Capitol Hill. He was there last week, but he was back again today. He said a lot. I'm not gonna kill the video by going over all the details, because it was all wonderful stuff you need to really know. But the biggest takeaway, he said this economy needs stimulus. This economy needs stimulus all the way to December. He says that people are still not back to normal. There is still a labor issue. People do not have their jobs. They're still not caught up. Certain parts of the economy are back to normal, but low income and middle class people are still not back to normal. The Fed will continue to provide stimulus to the economy all the way to December. And then you will see the pop back of this economy likely in December and January next year. This is huge. You know why this is wonderful? Because he's telling people who are going to be writing and drafting and voting on fourth stimulus that for purposes of the guy who knows the economy will not be back to normal until after you pass fourth stimulus and after you pass fifth stimulus. Wow. I mean, that's wonderful news. And it's breaking this evening right now. So Bernie Sanders on Sunday said something which was great, which was he said, I have not seen the final bill or even a draft of the bill or the final proposal. That's important for you to know because they're still marking up the bill. Who's marking it up? Now, we know the House subcommittees are marking up the bill, but one thing I want to make very clear for the first time on Evenings Lalate, as well as a lot of new stuff on the show tonight, is that there are different ways to do recon. You can do the procedural part of the recon where you do the procedural bill, which is very boring and very simple, and then take a break and then come back and do the substantive a few weeks later. Or you can just do all your drafting together and then do all your voting together. It's clear that that's what Chuck's doing. Chuck Schumer. Second, it's also clear that what Chuck Schumer is probably doing is he's doing the drafting in the House subcommittees with the Senate subcommittees being part of the discussion and going through it. Why? Because he did this with third stimulus. Why? Two reasons. One, it saves time. So you don't have to do the same process twice. You just do it once and have everyone listen in and look and make edits. And they're the same party. The Senate subcommittee and the House subcommittee are both Democrats. Number two, it prevents an ambush. What's the ambush? Chuck said under third stimulus in the spring of this year that he didn't want to send stuff to the Senate subcommittees because the GOP would leave it there and never get it out of the subcommittee. It would get buried in the subcommittees. So what you need to know is that we do not have the final bill. We don't even have a draft of the bill. And not only we, meaning the public, the senators don't. So that is what's important for you to know. But they do these things very, very quickly and get them and can do the voting very quickly. I'll be going over the voting process towards the very end. The voting has started, and the voting process, it will start this week. And also, the recon will end by July 4th. How did we get to this point, and what did Jalopal say about this on Friday? It's all wonderful news. Jalopal in a double negative said that the White House has not in any way told me not to do what I'm doing. More about that in a second. I'll explain that to you. And then Brian Schatz, a Democrat, progressive out of Hawaii, said the White House has repeatedly reassured him that the White House considers the progressive policies the White House's own policies. And the White House has not asked him to back off or the progressives from what they're doing. Let me explain what's going on. As I just told you, they're drafting the bill. And the president doesn't draft bills. The legislators draft bills. Presidents don't draft bills. Rather, they propose what they want in there. Now, when they make proposals, they also say, you better have it in there, I'll veto it. Well, he has said that. As to climate, which is a progressive policy, and also the CARES economy, which refers to medical issues for seniors, that's also progressive policy. Here's the wonderful news. Jalopal and the progressives has responded back to the president and said, we have your back. We have those two progressive policies in there, and we're taking them to the finish line, to which the president says, I have your back, and your progressive policies, which you would have put in there, I will support you all the way to the finish line as well. And their progressive policy they represent is the monthly stimulus check. So there you go. Back, patting back, back, watching back, whatever expression you want to say. Back to back. Okay, so there you go. How did we get to this wonderful spot? We got to this wonderful spot by Chuck Schumer, the Friday before Memorial Day weekend, saying the reconciliation process has begun. It will end by July 4th, and it will end with a passage. Well, how did we get to that spot? With Jalopal as well. Jalopal had written Chuck a letter saying, Chuck, call the vote. The letter was co-signed by 12 House Democrats, who were among the 100-plus House Democrats who had written the president a letter a week earlier saying, Mr. President, we're going to be putting monthly stimulus checks into the fourth stimulus package. Wow. Now that's wonderful news. Can we top that? Yes. 7 House Democrats wrote the president a letter saying, Mr. President, we'll be writing for you monthly stimulus checks when we write up the stimulus check section of the bill. Who are these people to say that? What do they do for a living? Who are you? They are the people who are on the House subcommittee that's solely exclusively responsible for writing stimulus checks. They wrote the first stimulus check, the second stimulus check, the third stimulus check, and they're writing a fourth stimulus check. They're currently marking up the bill. And will there be a fifth stimulus check? There will be a fifth stimulus check they represent. Wow, now that's wonderful news. More about that later in this video. Which brings me to the exciting big detail as Biden does it and anchors it to the finish line for stimulus. What did he do? He signed this international agreement about 2 weeks ago, which is absolutely wonderful, about international corporate taxes and the fourth stimulus. Let me explain what happened. Fourth stimulus is paid for by raising the U.S. corporate tax rate. To which the president said, I'm a little worried about that. Because if I raise the U.S. corporate tax rate, businesses may go overseas and find a lower corporate tax rate. Well, he reached out to those other countries, said, raise your corporate tax rate. And they did, to which he said, good. And he reached out to his staff and he said, you know what, in December when we're doing the gingerbread? Can we bring some caramel popcorn to meet those countries overseas and have them sign into law that? And if they do, then we can remove the provisions for forced stimulus we don't need. Now, he surprised everyone because he didn't wait till December. He did it 2 Saturdays ago. 2 Saturdays ago, Biden did it. He went internationally for his first international trip and had those countries sign into law, which now anchors forced stimulus to the edge of the finish line, making it easier to pass forced stimulus because the provisions are no longer needed in there about international taxes that covered in the international agreement. It's wonderful news. Is there better news than this? It is. The third part of your forced stimulus check updated 2021 with more breaking news you're going to hear for the first time tonight. It's coming up in just a second. With also fifth stimulus and what Jay Powell said and how it impacts your benefits, they could go up as much as 10%. But what's better than that? The volunteers. If you need help with rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, or SNAP, reach out to the volunteers. They're on the community page. How do you find the community page? Open the description of this video. Go down in the description. And there you'll find them. In the community, you'll find the community page. It has a link there. news.la.com/community. It sends you over to the community page. There's pictures of kitty cats. And then lower on the page are the volunteers, separated from Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. They embody the true Purple Power spirit. Viewers helping viewers. Remember, this channel is about you cashing checks. This is not 2020, where people sat around and said, I need that stimulus check to land by this date, and unless that. No, there's tens of thousands of dollars of third stimulus money for you to get right now, and if you're having problems finding it, the volunteers can help you. They've been around, and they are wonderful. And if you reach out to them and ask them, can you take me to Taco Tuesday? The answer will be no. If you reach out to them and say, can you repair my roof or change the rotors on my car? They'll say, no, we don't do that. Trust me, I gotta say that. And with that, I'll be back in 60 seconds with big exciting details. Don't leave me. Big exciting details about fourth stimulus and fifth stimulus. You're here for the first time. Coming up after this commercial break. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join Lalate Daily for the excitement of the new Lalate live daily. The excitement starts on mornings Lalate at 9 a.m. Home Lalate returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons Lalate at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on Lalate. And the excitement continues right now on Evenings LA direct from Santa Monica with exciting details still unfolding about fourth stimulus and fifth stimulus. You're going to hear for the first time in this evening's broadcast. Jay Powell has spoken, your head of the Federal Reserve, and the breaking news is in this recording. How are you? This is LA. Evenings LA. Make sure you subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. You don't want to miss a single video across the board. Also, like this video. Every like helps in the algorithm ranking and also delivers you a beautiful pimento. A pinto or pimento? One of the two. Consider becoming a member. Let's get right into fifth stimulus. Remember, right after this video is over, it sends you automatically into overnight's crypto. You don't have to do anything. Sort of like what Congress sometimes does. Doesn't do anything. Just kidding. All right, let's cut to fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus heats up this fall with first, a stimulus check. Yes, there will be a fifth stimulus check in the fifth stimulus package. It would be a 2022 check. The vote on it would be about November, December, and the legislative process for this would start in September. Number two, the president has indicated that he's dedicating $1 billion to Social Security Administration to ensure your payments go out on time going forward, which was a big problem for third stimulus. People didn't get third stimulus checks on time. One viewer on Noontime LA said, I've moved from Direct Express from Comerica to Chime because I can't deal with this anymore. There you go. This would ensure fourth stimulus, fifth stimulus, and monthly checks come on time. Great news. Which brings us to Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve. He said so much in today's congressional hearing. It was just a tsunami of information, and I can't possibly cover it all in this video. But the takeaways were that, one, inflation will be hot. He actually said that. This is a real surprise that he actually came forward and admitted it, that inflation will be hot. Number two, that inflation will be transitory, meaning the hot spike will be temporary and it'll come back down. He says there's more indications now, very clear, that it's going to be temporary. He says, third, it's good to have inflation hot. That he says the real ramping up of the economy, the massive growth you're going to see around December. Wow, that's huge for your benefits. Let me explain why this statement's from Jay Powell about all this activity, jobs, labor, growth, businesses all kicking in around December is just that. You want him to say that word, December, November. You want him to say those two months? I'm explaining to you right now. Under SSI and SDI reform, under fifth stimulus, they're going to raise your benefits up. Then they're going to remove the asset limit, add inflationary benchmark. Then remove the income exclusion, remove the marriage penalty. Now, let's go back to let's analyze how this works. First, they're going to raise up your benefits one time. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans, SSA, multiple benefits. Raise it up one time. Then they'll apply a benchmark. You know they're doing that, and you know the benchmark is inflation, and you know inflation's going up. That's all easy. So how does this calculate out? Well, you've seen me do this over the last week. We were at about 4% inflation, and we're going up to about 10% inflation. But I kept on saying you have to hope for two things. One, you have to hope they pass this because it's a wonderful bill. And two, you have to hope that this is when they apply the benchmark. Well, Jay Powell didn't say 10% inflation today. He would never say that. That's a scary number for a Fed head to say. But he did say December. He did say the spike is about here. I mean, it's huge. It's wonderful breaking news you're hearing for the first time on Evenings LA. He's saying the big spike is going to be December. We're going to run up and we're going to see the growth, labor, business activity, all that getting wonderful. The best you're going to see in almost 2 generations in December. That's when we're all saying the inflation is going to be the highest. So what does that mean? That the timing is perfect. You have to hope he's accurate. Let's say it is a 10% inflation rate in December. That means that your benefits would rise up not just 10% next year, but lifetime. Because once your benefits step up, they never step down. Then let's go over the other parts. They're going to remove the asset cap, dating back to a 1980s law, which is going to go away, which prevents you from having more than $3,000 in hand. Now you'll be able to have more than $3,000 in hand, and also stimulus checks and some tacos. They're going to remove the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. And finally, they're going to end the marriage penalty. Love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interest. And viewers like Rob and Sandy will no longer fear the marriage penalty. There you go. That is fifth stimulus. But boy, there's a lot of money out there for you to get. And if you're not getting the money, you're doing yourself a disservice. There's fortunes under third stimulus for you to get. That's why viewers are getting $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. So how do you find out about this money? By becoming a member. The membership link's at the top of the chat in the pinned comment. Members are delivered to them daily. A breakdown of all the money in third stimulus, fourth stimulus, and fifth stimulus. Fourth and fifth are currently not law yet, but third is. And there's thousands of dollars for you to get. Consider becoming a member and get delivered to you daily the breakdown of all that money, which is mostly application-based from third stimulus and then later on as proposed for fourth and fifth stimulus. All right, let's go back to fourth stimulus. And fourth stimulus is heating up with a lot of breaking stuff. I'm going to go over some of your questions and answers, also my personal message, and then also the voting process, new details you're going to hear for the first time tonight. And also then fake narrative, new details on that as well. A lot of breaking stuff tonight. And then finally, the purple power push. All right, first personal message. I love that comment from that viewer on the Facebook who said, but there's a bill for this then why do we care about the Senate proposal? And then if you always ask me a lot of questions about the Senate proposal, you have to understand that they are currently marking up the bill. So who's marking up the bill? As I explained earlier in this video, it's very likely that it's not just House subcommittees, but House and Senate subcommittees. That's how Chuck did third stimulus. He puts them together so that they don't have to repeat the process when the bill gets to the Senate and gets modified, so that they streamline the whole process. So marking up the bill, what you need to know is that in marking up the bill, a lot of editing gets changed. And when the same viewer asks, when will we see the number from the senators? Well, they may not know the number because the Senate subcommittee members are talking with the House subcommittee members and making up marks. And until they're finished with the marks, then they don't have the document to vote on in their subcommittee before they send it to the floor. So great set of questions. Next, it's important to know that with that pen that has ink on one side and eraser on any side, they can always erase or add something at any time. Third, I did this for the first time ever, and I don't think I'm going to do it much more, but I just wanted to say it one more time. On Afternoons LA, I said this, and I want to say it again on this broadcast. People have been asking me my opinion. I don't do opinions on this channel. I never do opinions. Trust me. I could say I have a very opinionated person. I don't do opinions. But I do say one thing, that I don't like leaving things to the last second. And these legislators, through first, second, and third stimulus, did things to the very last hour. I mean, literally like 4 hours away. The CR in December, the federal government was going to shut down. They had to get extension, and then they got another extension, and they literally had 1 hour left until they got signed a law. I don't like that they leave things to the last second, but I think most people don't like things left to the last second. What happened today for the voting rights bill is great news for this. Why? The Voting Rights Bill, which is a Democratic bill that was not going by recon, that I told you was going to die because the GOP blocked it, is dying. And so that's great news for you and great news for this because, one, the fact that that bill's dying, it will now give time to focus exclusively on this because this is all that's really left, and this is the big issue. Second, the fact that the GOP was so successful in blocking it as a non-recon bill will signal why this recon is so important. Now let's go to the voting process. It's important to understand that the voting process has the opportunity to make changes. And those changes are at steps 5, 7, and 8. The first 4 are the procedural steps, which are much of nothing. So let's go over the 9 steps. Step 1, the House subcommittee votes on the procedural bill. Step 2, the House floor votes on the procedural bill. Step 3, the Senate votes on the procedural bill. Step 4, the President signs the procedural bill. At that point, the tow truck is passed to the finish line. Time to vote on the substantive bill. Okay, House subcommittee, the one that's currently marking up the bill, the one that represents they're going to do monthly stimulus checks. They finish marking up the bill and they call for a vote in the House subcommittee. That House subcommittee could ultimately have a stimulus check in there or could ultimately decide against one. Then step 6, the House floor votes on the substantive bill. Then we go to the Senate. The critical step 7 and 8, a 2-day votorama. During that votorama, senators like Bernie Sanders finally get the bill. And they look at it, and they can make amendments. 3 possibilities. Number 1, the House has no stimulus checks. The senators add a stimulus check by amendment. 2, the House has stimulus checks in there. The senators love it. They leave it alone. Or 3, the House has stimulus checks in there. Senators want to amend, and they amend it by changing something about it. Step 9, the president signs it a law. Now, they can do multiple steps within the same day, with the exception of the votorama that has to go for a certain duration of time. And finally, if the House does make amendments, it goes back to the Senate for if the Senate makes amendments, it goes back to the House for just a quick vote, just a procedural vote very quickly. All right, fake narratives. A lot of breaking news about fake narratives. On Evenings LA last night, one viewer jumped to the live chat and wrote something like, I heard that there's going to be a bipartisan agreement announced on Wednesday, which I immediately deleted because it was false, and the viewer apologized. But ironically, let me go over exactly what's going on. The peanut gallery is still chopping peanuts because the president would not shut it down. The president has had the opportunity to shut down the peanut gallery, and the peanut gallery will be talking to the very last day. What's important for you to know is the peanut gallery has nothing to do with impacting the fourth stimulus package, with the exception of making press coverage of it and readership and viewership coverage of it confusing, because you see these reports and unless you are explained to that the peanut gallery has nothing to do with the process, that you don't understand it. Who's the peanut gallery? It's about 6 or 7 isolated individuals who do not have the support of their party, but they made a fool of themselves yesterday by saying actually this, that we're sort of close to getting to something. And then they were asked a very good question by a reporter. Well, what are you doing with the pay-for-alls? How are you going to pay for the bill? Oh, we haven't even started that process yet. Which is just ridiculous. I mean, really, the only thing that's important in forced stimulus is how to pay for it. If you don't know how to pay for it, then what are you doing? You're going to chat. What, are you going to chat about that like in November? It's just okay. So that's them, and the peanut gallery is just looking a little bit more Looney Tune every day, but that's what they're doing. Finally, it's important to note that the whole process from A to Z is a process that's in flux, and it can change very quickly. My hope is that they are watching the clock like a hawk, because do I have personal emotions when I'm looking at the situation? Yeah, my personal emotion is the following, that I want you to get it done. Get it done. My concern is that they just wait too long, is that they're just dragging, is that the clicking of the clock is going on, and we're looking at the clock and we're like, how many more days are left to July 4th? How many more days are left to July 5th? My concern is more the total bill. I think a lot of viewers, how do I say it? Let me say it this way. I think some of the comments of viewers are focusing on the stimulus check of the fourth stimulus package. My thought process is, look at the clock. I mean, look at the date. Let's look at the date. I mean, get the fourth stimulus to the finish line. Not so much just worried about the stimulus check in the fourth stimulus. Just get fourth stimulus to the finish line, because look at that look at that calendar. So I think things are going to ramp up very, very quickly. They have to ramp up very quickly in the next coming days, because the clock is ticking, and that's for everything. And that is why you have to push. Purple Power, you have to do your thing. These final days are very critical, because this is when they usually make the biggest changes. Remember, the 2-day vote-a-rama in the Senate is the final 2 days before July 4th. Literally, now, they won't necessarily be voting on July 4th, but before the July 4th weekend, those final 48 hours of the Senate vote-a-ramas are critical. So go on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Tag your elected officials, hashtag MSC, hashtag Purple Power. Tag your Democrat caucus, tag your House caucus, tag your caucus leaders. Also, don't tweet too fast. Don't tweet every 3 seconds. Give some time between tweets. Otherwise, your account could be put onto lockdown mode if you're tweeting too fast at any particular time. Unfortunately, that happened to one viewer. Also, go on Facebook, and finally, if you don't use social media the old-fashioned way, pick up the phone and call your elected officials. This week we saw, and last week we saw, the same news that jobless claims are growing, that the economy is not fully rebounded. The Federal Reserve, Jay Powell, talking today, and the same as I said last week. We need to support this economy with Fed stimulus all the way to December. That's the same for congressional stimulus. Congressional stimulus is needed all the way to December, and then you can relax in January 2022. That's the same thing that Janet Yellen said, same thing the president said, same thing I said, and same thing that Jay Powell has said since last year. And with that, thank you for joining me on a big evening's broadcast. And coming up next, right after this video, is Overnight's Crypto. Just stay right here, and the video will take you there within 7 seconds. You can just lift up your hands, and it'll just automatically take you in there. But first, use that hand to hit that subscribe button. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. Thank you for making yesterday our biggest subscriber growth day in several weeks. Hit that subscribe button right now. I want you part of this family. Like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful evening. I don't want you to miss anything across the board. Hope the weather is good where you are. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with Lalate for more.